Hey there, how's it going? Hope you're well. It's another beautiful day here today, and we are here to do another Course in Miracles lesson. The lesson for today is lesson number 43, so let's get right on it. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. Perception is not an attribute of God. His is the realm of knowledge. Yet He has created the Holy Spirit as a mediator between perception and knowledge. Without this link with God, perception would have replaced knowledge forever in your mind. With this link with God, perception will become so changed and purified that it will lead to knowledge. That is its function as a Holy Spirit sees it. Therefore, that is its function in truth. In God you cannot see. Perception has no function in God and does not exist. Yet in salvation, which is the undoing of what never was, perception has a mighty purpose. Made by the Son of God for an unholy purpose, it must become the means for the restoration of His holiness to His awareness. Perception has no meaning, yet does the Holy Spirit give it a meaning, very close to God's. Healed perception becomes the means by which the Son of God forgives his brother and thus forgives himself. You cannot see apart from God because you cannot be apart from God. Whatever you do in Him, because whatever you think with His mind. If vision is real, and it is real to the extent to which it shares the Holy Spirit's purpose, then you cannot see apart from God. 3 5-minute practice periods are required today, one as early and one as late as possible in the day. The third may be undertaken at the most convenient and suitable time that circumstances and readiness permit. At the beginning of these practice periods, repeat the idea for today to yourself with eyes open. Then glance around you for a short time, applying the idea specifically to what you see. 4 or 5 subjects for this phase of the practice periods are sufficient. You might say, for example, God is my source. I cannot see this desk apart from Him. God is my source. I cannot see that picture apart from Him. Although this part of the exercise period should be relatively short, be sure that you select the subjects for this phase of the practice indiscriminately, without self-directed inclusion or exclusion. For the second and longer phase, close your eyes, repeat today's idea again, and then let whatever relevant thoughts occur to you add to the idea in your own personal way. Thoughts such as, I see through the eyes of forgiveness. I see the world as blessed. The world can show me myself. I see my thoughts, which are like God's. Any thought related more or less directly to today's idea is suitable. The thoughts need not bear any obvious relationship to the idea, but they should not be in opposition to it. If you find your mind wandering, if you begin to be aware of thoughts which are clearly out of accord with today's idea, or if you seem to be unable to think of anything, open your eyes. Repeat the first phase of the exercise period, and then attempt the second phase again. Do not allow any protracted period to occur in which you become preoccupied with irrelevant thoughts. Return to the first phase of the exercises as often as possible to prevent this. In applying today's idea in the shorter practice periods, the form may vary according to the circumstances and situations in which you find yourself during the day. When you are with someone else, for example, try to remember to tell him silently, God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. This form is equally applicable to strangers as it is to those you think are closer to you. In fact, try not to make distinctions of this kind at all. Today's idea should be applied throughout the day to various situations and events that may occur, particularly to those which seem to distress you in any way. For this purpose, apply the idea in this form. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. If no particular subjects presents itself to your awareness at the time, merely repeat the idea in the original form. Try not to allow any long periods of time to slip by without remembering today's idea, and thus remembering your function. All right, so in today's lesson, we are connecting with our true vision and our source, which is God. we are realizing that we see through the eyes of God because we are not apart from Him. At all times, God is within us and we are within God. So our true vision can only see God. So today we will be doing 3 5-minute practice periods, one early in the morning, right when you wake, and one late at night, right before you go to sleep, and then one in the middle, anytime you find an opportunity to do it in a calm and peaceful way. All right, in these practice periods, the way you will start them off is by looking around you at all the different objects, and then picking and choosing about 5 objects and saying, God is my source. I cannot see that box apart from Him. God is my source. I cannot see that curtain apart from Him. God is my source. I cannot see that computer apart from Him. God is my source. I cannot see that TV apart from Him. And then you go ahead and you close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, you start bringing different thoughts forward in your mind that are similar to today's idea. So a good example would be, I see only through the eyes of God because God is part of me. Everything that my eyes land upon shows me God because God is a part of me. You can choose any idea that comes into your mind at random. Try not to think of it too much though. Just let them flow and let them come in. And allow yourself to do this for about 5 minutes. That was the longer practice period. Now, in the shorter practice periods, you would just let your life go forward in the normal fashion. And when you encounter different situations, apply today's idea to them. So for example, if you come near a person that you know, in your mind, whisper lightly and slowly, God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. When you see a certain situation, you do the same thing. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him. So any situation or person or thing that you encounter, you can apply today's idea as well. That's basically the lesson for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you come again here tomorrow for another lesson in A Course in Miracles. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.